What's up, guys? Today's video is on how to become more likable. So let's jump right into it. The first question, and the most important question, I think, is why do you want to be likable? Now, I know what you're going to say, so that people like me. But why do you want people to like you? Reason why we want anything in life is always for the feeling that it's going to give us. So if you want to be liked, it's so that you can feel more what is it? What do you want to feel more of? So maybe you want to feel more love. Maybe you want to feel close to people. Maybe you want to feel connection. Maybe it's going to give you a sense of safety. But what is the reason why? Because a lot of times when I notice people want to be more liked or they're having trouble with it is because they kind of struggle with liking themselves. And that even goes deeper. They have trouble with loving themselves. And this stems from childhood, obviously. And so you can definitely do some deep shadow work to work on this and become more likable to yourself so that you radiate love and abundance. That's the first step. The first step is figuring out why. Why do you want to be liked? Because it's going to go deeper than you think. It's not just that so you can get this person to like you or that person to like you, because maybe you don't even like that person. So I would definitely dive deep into that first question. Write these all down so that after the video you can work on this and become more likable to yourself. So that's number one. Number two is to be authentic. Just be yourself. I know, super cheesy, but it's true. For a long time, I struggled with this. I don't really care about if people actually like me or not. It was usually just because I'm lying. I did care about if people liked me or not because I didn't like when people didn't like me. But I would constantly change myself to try to be liked by everybody. And if you do that, you're going to really struggle because say they do like me for whatever it is I pretended to be like, then I have to be that person around them all the time, or they're going to be like, oh, I don't like them. What I really noticed is growing up when I was being myself is people either loved me or they hated me. And a lot of times it was more on the other side, but I did have a core group of friends that was really, really good and they really, really loved me. But as I grew up, I realized there was things about myself that I needed to change. You only have to change things if you want to change them. Like I said, don't change things because people don't like them and you want to be more likable. You have to realize what it is that these people don't like. If it's something that you don't like about yourself and you feel like it's holding you back, like you complain too much or you're kind of rude or you talk over people, these are things that'll just better you in life anyways. So you might as well work on things like that. Like for me, I complained a lot and somebody told me one time, I wasn't invited to a party and I was like, why am I not invited? And he's like, honestly, you just complain a little bit too much. And from that point on, I tried not to complain as much. Now, I still obviously complain a little bit here and there, but these are things that I work on. And especially nowadays in my spiritual growth, because this is way before, trying to grow myself, my mindset and everything. But nowadays I tell myself different stories instead of complaining about things. And that's helped a lot. So yeah, just be authentic. You don't want people to like you for a fake version of you. Like if I told you to smile more and you're walking around with this fake smile, it's going to come off a little bit weird, and then that's not even truly you. So be yourself, be authentically you. And then number three, if you want to be more likable, be genuinely interested in people. Be interested in them. Ask them questions and actually pay attention to what they're talking about. Don't just wait to answer because you just want to be able to be like, oh, I know the answer to this, or I know how to reply to this, because then you're going to miss what they're saying anyways and they're not going to feel heard. People love to feel heard. This is actually a really good way to get people to connect with you as well. If you're talking to somebody that you like and you want them to like you back, or just to, whatever it is, if you listen more and you reply with authenticity, you're just you actually listen, so you have a real answer instead of just waiting to answer. They're going to feel super heard. And at the end of it, they're going to go around telling their friends, or just think, they're not going to go, I don't know, they might go around telling their friends, but they're going to think to themselves wow, this person is a great talker. They have good conversations, and really you didn't even talk that much. You actually shut up more and listened. So that's number three. Be genuinely interested in others. Okay. And number four, I put this last, but it's the second most important thing, because without this, most things go to crap. So number four is to detach. You can detach from anything, detach from the outcome. I'll tell a story after this, but if you decide that you don't care if people don't like you, you actually give them permission to not like you, which I know is they're going to not like you anyways, but give them permission to not like you, then you're going to feel good. You're not going to care whether or not people like you. And then Going back to number 3, you're going to be more like, or number 2, you're going to be more like yourself because you're not caring about the outcome and trying to be needy and trying to do things for other people that they don't even want anyways. You just think that like, oh, this is going to get people to like me. You detach from and take care of yourself. You're going to realize that you're going to attract in, because you're attracting all the time. You're going to attract in the people that actually do like you, or you're going to start to notice the people that do like you, because there are people that like you. You're just focusing on the wrong ones. You're focusing on the outcome of you trying to be this certain way, and that's pushing people away. If something is meant for you, it's meant for you. It's not going to pass you up. If you really love something or love somebody and you let them go, and it's meant for you, and you finally detach because you let them go, then they'll come back. If they don't come back, then it's not meant for you, okay? So let me tell my story of this personally happened to me in life with my fiance now. So my fiance and I dated when we were 16 and 17 years old. And I wasn't the best boyfriend in the world back then. I was just a teenager, obviously, but I really did like her. And we were together, and I kind of pushed her away by being kind of protective, overprotective, and like jealous a little bit. And she wanted to go to like certain things that I didn't like to do. So I'd never really let her do those things. And one day, because she's a really strong individual who does what she wants, she was like, I'm going to go. And I was like, well, if you go, then we're done. Then she said, bye. And I didn't think much of this, but really she went to this thing and enjoyed it so much that she fell in love with that. And this is raving, but this is back in the day. So she didn't care about me anymore. She just decided to be away from me and ignore me and like stonewall me. And I was literally heartbroken. It's the first girl that ever broke my heart. And I've loved her ever since. And it's weird because I've always had this weird connection towards her, a very attachment one, very like obsessed with this girl, and that's not healthy, And every time we'd run into each other, because the universe would always bring us together. Like, we didn't hang out with the same people really, but I'd always like randomly run into her at either like a bar or like a party or like just somewhere else, or like somehow or like the mall, we just like connect somehow, and then we'd hang out for a day or two. And I'd always ruin it by being too attached. And then when we'd not hang out again, I'd like text her too much again and just keep pushing her away. And this went on for like 7 or 8 or 9 years. Every year or so we'd hang out like once or twice. And it wasn't because we wanted to, we just ran into each other. The universe kept bringing us back together. So we knew both of us had this idea in mind. But I'd gotten to a point in my life where I worked on myself enough to where I was like, okay, I didn't even think this. I just actually did detach from the outcome. I kind of knew I wasn't going to be with her anymore. And so I let that go. And we did run into each other again. And I was different. I hung out with her with the mindset of like, this is just going to be a hangout. We're just going to hang out. It's going to be cool. I'm glad I get to see her every once in a while. Like, I love that. And we just kept hanging out more and more and more and more. And she was telling me like, you're so different now. You've changed so much. And from there, we got together, and we've just been working on each other ever since. Like, not, working on ourselves ever since, and just growing and gaining a stronger and stronger relationship and connection with each other. Like, we are really like bonded, and we always knew the universe was bringing us together so often for a reason. I always knew I had this weird attraction towards her for a reason. And I always kind of questioned it when we were like together, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what keeps bringing us together, but there's something there. And it's because we're building a life together. We're building businesses together, and we're so motivated together. We push each other and we help each other out, and we communicate when we need to. And we also give each other space when we need to. There's been a lot of growing within our relationship that's taught me a lot and taught her a lot, but that's for another video. This video is about how to be more likable. And the last step was how to detach. So yeah, once I finally detached from the outcome, from the situation, what was meant for me came back. If you love something, let it go. If it's meant for you, it'll come back. So let's bring it all together. Step 1, start with why. Super important. Number 2, be authentic. Just be yourself. People will love you for being you. There's only one you. So be yourself. Number 3, be genuinely interested in others. You have to ask good questions and then listen to them. Listen to when they're talking to you. People don't listen. They're always on their phones and ignoring or like thinking of the next answer. Just listen. And step number 4, which is just as important as step number 1, is detach. Detachment is one of the best laws that you could adopt. And I'll be making a full video on the law of detachment next week. But for now, that is it. I hope you guys got what you needed from this video. I hope it helps you out. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, like this video, and leave a comment down below if you have any more tips or this has helped you out at all. I'd love to have a conversation down below. Thank you guys. See you in the next one. Peace out.